Hey, this is Katie, and today I thought I would talk to you about my trip to Disneyland Shanghai Resort, hence the ears. So a few months ago we headed to the Disneyland Shanghai Resort. It is the second time I've been to the Disneyland Shanghai Resort now, and it is a really good place to visit. It's actually the largest Disneyland in the world apparently, and it's really good fun, so I thought I'd kind of share with you my experience and some of the things that we got up to whilst we were there. So as we walked in, it was a really hot, warm day, so we decided to go straight to the Souvenir Shop because I needed to purchase the ears, because I've never actually owned a pair of mini ears before. I know, shocking. So I had to go straight to the shop and buy some ears so that I can wear them for all of my Instagram photos throughout the day, obviously. We then actually went over and checked out the waffle stand, so you can get these waffles that looked like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse, so we had some of that. And we also had some really unusual watermelon ice cream. It tasted pretty good, surprisingly, but it was a nice thing to try. It was a nice thing to have on a warm summer day, so that was pretty good, and it made up for a good breakfast. It's nice and fluffy and soft. Like sometimes you can get waffles that are a bit too hard. Like it's a good quality waffle. Next we headed over to the Toy Story Land. So obviously Toy Story Land in America has only just opened, but back in, I think it was May time, April, May, the Toy Story Land in Shanghai Disneyland opened, and it is really, really popular. So you have like a Rex Racer ride that zooms up and down a bit like a pirate ship, and that had like an hour-and-a-half queue. So I actually had been to Disneyland Shanghai in April with the students from my school, and there was still a really long queue for that as well, so it was like a 45-minute queue then as well. I just think it's one of those rides that's really, really popular. We also checked out the areas as well, so there's a really big souvenir shop, and they had lots and lots of Toy Story related rides. They had a really cool like restaurant area where you could have like Toy Story lunch boxes and really funky drinks and things like that. And I really loved this area because everything is themed. So even the fencing and the sides are made from like Connect toys. And even like the toilets have like those toy soldiers, you know, the Toy Story toy soldiers, even the toilets have got those toy soldier characters around them. They are pretty cool. It is a really well themed area that I think, to be honest, I think it's probably my favourite area of Shanghai Disneyland. Next we headed over to Tomorrowland, and we actually managed to catch the parade. So the parade is a really cool one in Shanghai Disneyland. It has all of the main characters, it has these really awesome floats, and it was a really warm day, so it was really nice to kind of watch. It had like, the theme was like a soak it up theme because it was in the middle of the summer. So before the parade started, you had these dancers coming out with like water guns and stuff like that, so that was good fun. And then the parade came out, so that was nice to watch, and you got some really cool photos. I think I've got a really cool photo actually of Minnie Mouse waving at me, so that was like a meeting the star moment. And then we went to Tomorrowland, and they have a Buzz Lightyear ride, so the same kind of like laser ride that you have in America. They have that ride there, and that's really popular. It's a really good fun ride. And again, you have another massive like souvenir shop that's related to Buzz Lightyear merchandise. And then you also had a ride called Tron. So Tron is a really popular ride, and I think it's only in Shanghai Disneyland, and it's a really fast ride. So you go on like this thing that you kind of sit almost like sitting on a motorbike, and it whizzes you around. But it's a really cool, fun, fast roller coaster if that's what you're into. So next we actually went up to the castle because it was pretty quiet around the castle at the time. We went in the Alice in Wonderland maze, and I must say, like, I always really enjoy the Alice in Wonderland maze. I know it's not a particularly thrilling ride even, but I really enjoy looking at like the detail of the characters, and they have like these character books and stuff, and it's really cute, and I really like that area. So we enjoyed looking at the maze, and then we went up to the castle, which actually, a fun little fact for you, the Shanghai Disneyland Castle isn't based off a character. So when we were there, we learned that in all the other theme parks, like all the other Disneylands, the castles are like Sleeping Beauty Castle and Cinderella Castle, but the Shanghai Castle is just called the Enchanted Storybook Castle. So it's not really based on a particular character or a particular princess. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's interesting. But I find it's a really nice castle. Like, we have been to the castle in Orlando, so I do think I actually prefer the Disneyland one in Shanghai, but that's maybe I'm just biased because I'm living in China. Next we headed for lunch. So there is a really cool restaurant called the Pinocchio Village Kitchen, and you get these like pizzas in the shape of Mickey Mouse's head, and I'm all up for anything in the shape of Mickey Mouse's head. So we had a pizza in the shape of Mickey Mouse's head, and we had some drinks, and I think I had an ice lolly. That was a pretty good ice lolly. It was like a frozen ice lolly. Like from Frozen, not just Frozen, obviously it was Frozen, but it was from the film Frozen. So we enjoyed stopping for lunch and kind of just getting out of the heat. It was really warm the day that we went. I think it was like hitting 36 degrees, so it was a pretty warm day, so it was nice to just kind of relax and get out of the heat. And this is where we were so gutted because we wanted to go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I had been on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride a few months before when I went with the children, and it's a really cool ride. Like, the ride that we have at Shanghai Disneyland is pretty awesome. It's like has all these really cool 3D effects, and it was the one ride that Callum was so excited about going on. And we couldn't go because it was closed for renovations. I don't know, it had been open all morning and it closed at like lunchtime. I'm guessing that there was some type of problem with it. It was so frustrating, and we kind of kept coming back all day, and we kept checking the fast pass and still nothing, like it just wasn't opening, which was so frustrating. So we did miss out on that. And then we did go to the Pirates of the Caribbean show. They have like a stunt show there, which is really good fun. It's it's all in Chinese, so you don't understand what's going on, but the stunts are really cool, so that was good. And we also checked out, there's like a Winnie the Pooh ride area, like rides with Winnie the Pooh in, and lots of different they have a Peter Pan ride, but the queue is just really long, so we left that one. To be honest, like those types of rides that are like Winnie the Pooh, the Winnie the Pooh one was really popular, and the Peter Pan ride, both of them were like an hour and a half, pushing 2 hour wait. So we just kind of left it. And then we just kind of wandered around, to be honest, because it was a really busy, warm day, and it got really busy in the afternoon. So we just kind of had a little walk around and looked at some of the other souvenir shops. We went back to Main Street, and they had like a water show on in front of the castle. And so we popped into some of the souvenir places and just kind of had a little wander around. There's something really unusual about Disneyland. Like, actually, I'll be honest, me and Callum aren't massive roller coaster ride. Like, we don't particularly like big roller coasters. We like kind of the 3D or tame rides, but we're not big roller coaster riders. But there was always something weird about Disneyland in the sense that even just going to Disneyland and seeing the theming and walking around it seems pretty magical. And maybe it's just me and I'm just a big child at heart, but I really enjoy it. And even though it was really warm and it was really hot and it was really busy, it was still a really nice day. So I'm glad that we went, and I would definitely recommend, if you're in Shanghai, heading over to the Shanghai resort, like the Disneyland resort, because it's really, really nice. I'm looking forward to going back there again with the children for my next trip. It's a really good experience, so I did enjoy it. But before I finish, I thought I'd give you some quick tips that really helped me out the second time we went to Shanghai Disneyland Resort. So here they are. 1, download the app. So you can get an app which is the Disneyland Shanghai Resort app. You can just get it off App Store, and it looks exactly the same as all the other Disneyland apps. It's just in Chinese. It will show you the wait time. It shows you where you are in the park if you let it use your GPS. It shows you where all the restaurants are and what type of food they sell. You can use it for Fast Pass. So with Shanghai Disneyland, everybody gets a Fast Pass. So when you get into the park, you can use your Fast Pass, and then 40 minutes before your Fast Pass allotted time, you can then book another Fast Pass. So you can only book one at a time, but everyone gets one, so that's really helpful. So use that, get there early and use it, because Fast Passes go really quickly. Another thing to be aware of is drinks and food. So you are not permitted to take in open drinks. So you can take in an empty water bottle. So what we tend to do is take in empty water bottles and then fill it up when you get to the park. or you can take a sealed bottle, but you can't have like a bottle that's been opened and then take it into the park. They won't allow that. Now food is kind of hit or miss, so like you're actually not meant to take food into the park. However, when I went with the children at my school, I am aware that like we did, like different teachers and some of the children took in snacks, and they didn't they didn't say anything about it. They do search your bags as you go in, and they didn't say anything about it, so it wasn't really an issue. I'm sure it's one of those things that you can take in snacks, but don't take a massive picnic in. That's probably the line with that one. So don't worry too much about snacks, but I would suggest, like, it is cheaper. The food is cheaper in Shanghai Disneyland than it is in America, but it's not that cheap. So if you want to bring snacks in, I'm sure it's fine to do so, because they didn't really say anything when we did so. So that's kind of my advice and my experience of Shanghai Disneyland Resort. If you have any questions about visiting Shanghai Disney Resort, do leave them in the comments below, because I'm more than happy to answer any questions, and I can do some more videos about Shanghai Disneyland if you have any more questions about it. But anyway, that's my video. I hope you find it somewhat helpful and somewhat entertaining. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more kind of life in China videos, Disney videos, and just my life videos. Until next time, bye!